I've dreamed the dreams of these creatures. I feel like I can enter their minds and know what they are plotting. Ever since I laid eyes on them, I've developed something of a sixth sense, and what makes it hardest to breathe is the dreadful feeling that these things are up to no good. I know I sound crazy, but none of what I envision bodes well for humanity. It comes in flashes, the chaos that I see. People, society, all of it plagued and mutilated by the other ones. At first, I assumed that the technology they were using in the ground was to extract samples of our planet for research purposes. But now I'm starting to believe that they were injecting something into our soil to infect us or compromise our ecosystems. I can't know for sure, but it looks like the most realistic possibility. The way I see it, if they are technologically advanced enough to come and go as they please, they wouldn't need or want to conduct an analysis on our planetary makeup. But on the flip side, what I can't seem to wrap my head around is why they would travel throughout space solely with malicious intent. What makes humanity the most insignificant species in the galaxy, worthy of mass destruction? It feels like a waste of time. There must be more to this. The only logical way to gain deeper insight into an experience is to relive it. Sure, I've visited this site to no end, but now I've decided to properly stake it out. This means I'm camping. I have this vibration in the center of my forehead that's giving me a chilling feeling that tonight is the night that the other ones will be making their return. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the night I discovered them, and I am way past due for an update. My senses are undeniably vulnerable to this atmosphere, and something is telling me that it's going to happen. All I can do is just wait, so I'm going to try to eat something and search the grounds for signs of their arrival. It's just about the same time I first saw the beam right now. I've set up camp under my death tree, and I'm just now getting the fire started for dinner. The fact that I have an appetite at all is a blessing.
Isaac hasn't contacted me in over a year. I'm terrified to find out whether he is dead. I know that we had a mutual understanding that our dynamic wouldn't exceed casual fun, but it's unlike him to be anything shy of a gentleman, and not answering my calls is something any other man would do. Isaac is not like other men. He's considerate, and to not hear from him for a year straight makes me think the unthinkable. I've even stopped by his home, and his car is never in the driveway. The grass is overgrown, and the lights are always off. I think something may have happened to him, and I can't seem to figure out what the hell is going on. The worst part about it is that I can't reach out to anyone in his life because there is nobody left besides me. I don't know what else to do beyond breaking into his home and searching for answers. Does he even live there anymore? Even if I stumble across his rotting corpse, at least I won't be sitting here in my head. I guess that's why I started this journal. I need to gather my thoughts. I just need to know if he's okay. It's one thing for him to ghost me. It's another thing to be stripped of a proper goodbye by force or circumstance. God help me, I'm going crazy.
Darling, if by some chance that you were informed of my demise, I hope that this note finds you well. You need to know that the why is not because of you. I'm aware of the fact that I've made many errors in my past decisions. You must know that I am indeed a broken soul. Whether I am a success or a failure, the conclusions I've come to are threefold. 1, you will forever be my greatest achievement. Despite it all, I will always look back at having you to call my finest treasure. 2, I will never be the man you deserve. Unfortunately, the irony behind holding myself to a high standard and completely falling victim to my own weaknesses and temptations have cost me everything. I'm as privy to that as I am ashamed of it. 3, I've learned that letting go is the only way to move onward. This conclusion in particular is more so a piece of advice I leave for you, as much as it is a mission statement for myself. I must just let go, and you should as well. While I consider myself unworthy of any favor from you, I only ask that you remember me as the man I aspired to be, and not the man I turned out to be. Most of all, not to assume you would. But don't allow any potential mourning to become you. I am nothing worth losing yourself over. P.S. I know that my assumption of you even being saddened by this news is part of my twisted condition. Arrogance is repulsive. I don't know why, but I felt the need to keep the goodbye note in my pocket ever since I returned home from that first night in the woods. I look at the man I was when I wrote it and see the irony in the situation. I didn't have a single clue as to how easier it was to live at that point than it is now, because the idea of us being so tiny and helpless in this world when there are stronger, smarter creatures out there plotting our demise makes every woe and grievance I've ever had prior a delight by comparison. What a joke. To be perfectly honest, I haven't given her much thought since I found the other ones in the woods. I can't allow myself to let her in, especially not now. Before, I was afraid of her running away from who I thought I was. Now, I'm even more afraid because she would never believe what I had seen if I told her about it. On top of it all, I feel like a piece of garbage for not giving her closure. She's probably worried sick about me. I'm a complete mess. I have an urge to reach out to her, but I have no means of doing so, and even if I did, I'd probably keep my distance because I can't face rejection. How would I even be able to explain something like this to her in a way she would both understand and believe? It sounds outrageous writing it out on paper, so I can't imagine how it would sound through my mouth. I still wonder why this happened. Why couldn't I have just gone out in peace? Why did that light appear at the exact moment I was ready to turn out the light in my eyes? Why did the other ones come here? Why haven't they returned? If this experience hasn't driven me crazy, I know for a fact that the thoughts running through my head are. I search for answers, and all I find are more questions.
I broke into Isaac's house and found myself mortified by how messy it was. It's so unlike him. All his clothes are still in the closet and dressers, and nothing seems missing, just misplaced. What's even more strange is that he left his cell phone behind, and I took it upon myself to search through it for signs of his passage. Of course, thousands of missed calls and text messages from me were the first things I saw on it, but the bastard left GPS pins that date back to this time last year. I think this is a good find. Because he didn't find his phone important enough to take with him wherever he went, I took it home with me to do more investigating. Thankfully, while I was at his place, I didn't smell any odors that would indicate he died anywhere in the house, and I saw nothing suspecting of foul play. The only thing that puzzles me are the pages of scribble that were practically blanketed across his home study. I couldn't make out a great deal of it, but what I did see were drafts of sketches labeled "the other ones." He must be seriously unwell, because the sketches were of figures that look like squids, but not quite. His insomnia has been off the charts these last few years, but I now suspect that he is starting to hallucinate. I need to find him. From what I can tell, these pins are located in the middle of the sunken forest, which isn't the easiest place to navigate, especially in the dark. I think I might contact the police at this point. The only reason why I'm hesitant is because I did kind of commit 3 crimes in the process of searching for him: breaking and entering, unlawful entry, and petty larceny. Now that I think about it, I probably won't get them involved unless I find him held captive or worse. I'm no help to him if I'm locked up. I'm planning on taking tonight to search his phone for more answers, and then I'm heading straight into the woods. I need to see him with my own eyes, dead or alive.
I lay my eyes on the beacon as I write this final entry. I'm leaving my journal behind at the campsite in case I don't make it back, because I aim to confront these things once and for all. If I don't live to see tomorrow's glorious sunrise, I just want whoever finds this to know that I did not die in vain, and I did not die by my own hand. This is real, and I'm going to see it to the end.